Hello and welcome to the 11th Tinto Flavor. This time we're going to be having a look at the Ethiopian Empire, and oh boy is it large. Just on first glance, on just looking at the map, and I said this during the Tinto Maps phase as well, there are a lot of countries that start out much larger than they do in EU4, but generally it looks like they are somewhat balanced by the fact that having multiple cultures within your country is going to be more of a challenge. That's like you're not going to be able to just raise all of the troops regardless of their culture. You're going to have to, work around that, work towards unifying and accepting cultures and all that kind of stuff to be able to get the most out of them. So just being a large country isn't the be all and end all. So hopefully that is going to be the case here. But anyway, let's have a look at some Ethiopian flavor, and let's see if this is one of the tags that we want to play when we get our hands on E5. Before that, of course, just want to say, if you enjoy these videos, it would mean a lot to me if you would hit the subscribe button, because I'm still going to make them even if you don't, but you will be able to get notified when I make a new one, and that's only a good thing. But anyway, let's see what we have for Ethiopia. Hello, welcome to one more week of Tinto Flavor, the Happy Fridays, where they look at the content of the super secret Project Caesar. Today they're talking about the Empire of Ethiopia. So, without further ado, the Empire of Ethiopia is an ancient realm rich with history and traditions. Nestled in the Horn of Africa, it boasts lush highlands, plateaus, and the Great Rift Valley. Its beauty is captivated by golden sunsets on the Simien Mountains. Ethiopia's enchanting tapestry weaves diverse ethnic groups like the Amhara, Afar, and Tigray. United in trials, it remains resilient like the ancient baobab tree, enduring through time. Inspired by ancient origins, Ethiopia cherishes legendary unions like the Queen of Sheba and King Solomon. The legacy of their son Menelik, the first member of the Solomonid dynasty, echoes through time, connecting this land to the ancient Israelites. Through the years, Ethiopia's epic tale unfolds, shaped by destiny and the unwavering spirit of its people. Triumphs and tribulations weave a rich tapestry of life's ebb and flow. However, this nation stands as a realm encircled by adversaries eagerly awaiting to seize any opportunity to strike. Managing not only to survive but thrive will be a challenge. Yeah, cool. Nice level. I like that they're doing the flavor text at the start. Big fan of that, of course. So we have here the starting ruler of Ethiopia, Negusa Nagast, Jebre Meskel Solomon, and she's pretty good. I can't remember. That's Spear, right? So as a he, sorry, my apologies. He is pretty good. 50 admin, 66 diplo, and 80 martial tradition. Again, all of this is work in progress artworkness. So yeah, just bear that in mind. But yeah, anyway, onto the map, and again, it is, it's quite large. Strongest power in the region is no joke, and I imagine Damot is going to be quite the challenging start for anyone who is looking for a challenge. The only one you border is the Giga Empire, and yeah, that looks quite difficult. Dubea also looking pretty difficult. But oh my god, it's even worse because Ifat, who might be able to challenge and is larger, is also a tributary. So, quite Ethiopia looking kind of big, kind of very big. And they give 16 ducats. I think that's what that's gonna be. Either that or loyalty to the state of Ethiopia of 16.9. It could be either way. I'm not sure. So the state's works of art for Ethiopia, we have King Ezana's stele. It is a masterpiece. Lalibella's cross. We've got St. George in Lalibela and the Kebra Nagast. So, the Ezana's stele. King Ezana's stele, erected in the 4th century, is a monumental stone marker from the Aksumite Empire. It reflects the kingdom's wealth and power during its peak. Ezana's conversion to Christianity, also marked by inscriptions, made Aksum one of the earliest Christian states in history. Some of the advances you can have. The Ark of the Covenant is an advance. Okay, you get pop conversion speed from it. We are the only nation to house the sacred Ark of the Covenant after it was taken in secret by Menelik, the First with divine assistance thousands of years ago. It's hidden away from public view, lest they would attempt to steal our sacred national treasure. Replicas of the Ark are placed in every single one of our churches as a reminder that our rule is blessed by God. We have the Solomonid Claim advance, giving monthly prestige. Our ruler's forefathers are descended from the monarchs of Axum, from the bloodline of King Solomon and Queen Sheba. We have deposed the Zagwe monarchs in order to legitimize our rule and firmly establish the kingdom, being restored to its rightful dynasty. Prester John it's an achievement in EU4, the advance, giving institution growth. Europeans have been looking for Prester John for centuries and are convinced that our ruler has to be him, somehow, as we are fellow Christians. There's no reason to point out that they are wrong, as they are happy to share their ideas with us. We have the true Ethiopian Church, giving clergy state satisfaction equilibrium. External influences might be good for some aspects, but it can alter the nature of our beliefs. In order to maintain our identity, we must secure the existence of our own Tewahedo Church. We also have the origins of coffee, giving tax efficiency and coffee output. It's from our lands that the coffee comes from, as it's the optimal place. While it can be cultivated in other places, ours is revered for its quality and exported by the ton. We have to make this a way to channel richness to our nation. We also have one of the advances per age that unlocks a building and one unique unit per age. So we get the Cawa. If you played Ethiopia in EU4, and especially I think if you formed Israel from it or became Jewish, then you got access to the Cawa regiments in that, which were pretty good if I recall correctly. They had, I think, as regiment manpower usage. So, if you lost 1,000 of them, then your manpower would only get hit by 800 or something like that. So it was pretty good. It was pretty good. They're available in the Age of Traditions. It unlocks the Cawas and gives you the Cawa barracks. The Cawa serve as Ethiopia's feudal noble warrior class, recruited and appointed for the Emperor's army service. They represent a professional soldier class renowned for their ferocity. I would like to point out as well, one of the adventures per age, so unique unit per age. So one of the things I was worried about in the past few Tinto flavors when we're seeing all these unique units is, are these available just for one age? And then when we go to the next age, are we then going to be somewhat disappointed because, our unique stuff is in the past and we're not going to get used to it for it anymore? If I spend an entire age, say the Age of Traditions, as Ethiopia, I'm already pretty big, so I'm not going to be super caring too much about, needing that super sexy infantry unit. But then maybe when I get to the Age of Reformation, and this is when I want to fight the Mamluks, but my Cawa are no longer relevant anymore because we've moved up, we've got new units, and uniques are no longer in fashion. But it seems here that this kind of worry has been answered if you're getting a unique unit per age from this. And I hope that that is the same for all of the other unique units that we've seen as well. Can we have them grow and stay unique throughout the game? Or get replaced by other unique units? I'd also be okay with that. Anyway, we have the Cawa here. They use, there's 100 maximum strength because it's the early version of it. Uses 2 manpower a month, weaponry and leather, blah, blah, blah. I think their unique thing here is strength damage taken. I don't think the base regiments have that, but again, kind of don't really know because we haven't also seen the basic infantry unit yet. I imagine the performance here on plateaus and mountains and hills and such is actually going to be more for this Cawa because of the amount of mountains and such that there are in Ethiopia. So maybe this is part of their unique thing as well. In Ethiopia, the arsenal of the Cawa encompasses the formidable curved sword known as the shotel, the versatile spear called the tor, and the proficiency in ranged weaponry such as bows and javelins known as arma. Notably, the use of protective armor, including the renowned coat of mail, is prevalent among them, further enhancing their defensive capabilities. We also have the Cawa barracks, giving some monthly manpower. Can recruit regiments there, of course. Leather, cloth, and weaponry. Cool. And then the unit for the Age of Renaissance. So this is when it gets upgraded. Now there's 400 max strength, 8 monthly manpower. Now uses firearms. And strength damage taken is still the same. Combat speed, I think, is the same as well. Yeah, it is. Initiative's still the same. I think I think everything's basically the same here, other than it uses some weaponry and a bit more men. Combat power was the same there as well. The introduction of gunpowder makes your traditional bows and javelins obsolete, but gives a new edge to the Cawa. And then in the Age of Revolutions, it changes into the Cawa columns. 3200 max strength, 64 manpower a month, god damn. Combat power is up to 3 now. The combat performance here is the same. I think all this here is the same as well, but yeah, that combat power going up. The most modern version of the Cawa, these fighters have reached their highest point in their discipline and effectivity, becoming the terror of their enemies. So, narrative content. Let's see what we have for Ethiopia. There's a unique mechanic that can be unlocked early in the game. Okay. Although the capital of Ethiopia has changed over the years due to military needs, it's never been made tradition for rulers to move the courts to different locations. Being closer to where our armies are and making a distinction between villages and cities by allowing Negusa Negas, Jebre, Meskel Solomon, and any future ruler to select their place of governorship, as well as ensuring that each part of the country is cared by the Negusa Negasat, then we can justify this as a viable practice for Ethiopia. So, Wandering Court here is what you get. It allows you to enact the government reform, which will trigger a capital change at the start of each reign. That's kind of cool. Seems pretty useful. Rather than having a stationary court, it's preferable to be able to move it at will to other places of the nation. By abolishing the concept of a stationary capital within our nation, we more easily readjust where our rulers govern, and from where the military should be rallied in case a war breaks out. So it actually makes it more expensive to move your capital, which I feel is very much not what we're seeing. Maybe you get to move it for free with a new ruler, and therefore just moving it while you're still, mid-reign. That's why that's more expensive, and then this is the thing you're actually looking for. If this part is free, then great. Also, distance cost to capital is nice. The Lalibela Cross, one of our nation's most cherished religious and historical treasures, is a large and intricately adorned processional cross, which is housed within the Bet Medhane Alam in Lalibela. Priests often use the cross to bless or heal believers by gently rubbing it against them. Crafted from a single piece of metal, it's made of bronze and gold with a single piece of metal, bronze and gold. It's 2 metals there. No, you know what I mean. With its central cross featuring an elongated descending arm and gracefully flared ends, all adorned with intricate ornamentation. A distinctive characteristic of the cross is the portrayal of Adam's arms at the base adorned during festive stuff. Move to the capital, start a pilgrimage, or make the church continue the relic even more majestic. Okay. And here is that Lalibela cross. I imagine this part goes on top of like a pole, so it's easy, it's a processional cross, so you put it on a pole, you hide up in the sky, that makes sense. But I think that's what this part here is for. But yeah, looks cool. We also have here the Kebra Nagast. Also known as the Glory of the Kings, is a national epic from Ethiopia. It was written by Nebure Id Ishkan of Axum under the supervision of Bishop Abba Georgis. This work serves as a repository for our national and religious sentiments, carrying immense historical and cultural significance. The text of the Kebra Nagast is believed to be centuries old and holds a special place within Ethiopian literature and culture, intricately weaving together history, religion, and the origins of the Solomon dynasty. Which stuff happens? So we can learn how our ancestors administer their realms, study the ways to deal with subjects, adopt older tactics shown in it to nowadays issues. Okay. We also have Statiwos Abebe the monk. So we have a unique character showing up. During our travels around the country to visit our chiefs, we have encountered a wise man teaching to the common folk. Statiwos Abebe, is a monk and religious leader from the north of their empire, and he has a monastery and a small following of disciples. But after some minutes of listening to his lesson, he's quickly earned the ire of our bishop. He proclaims to defend the ancient custom of the Ethiopian Miaphysitism to common folk to observe both Saturday and Sunday as holy days. Our bishop instead says that the doctrine goes against the mandate of stuff. So your options here, follow the bishop's advice. The historical option is there's no need for punishment. He can go somewhere else. it was that it was. It seems wise than our bishop. He may get the position. We are also interested in what he has to teach, so maybe this is the way that you can switch to Miaphysite. That would be kind of cool. No, actually, the last option unlocks a unique estate privilege, giving you grant both days Sabbath to the Gebar. Lose some prestige, gain some stability. The Kahinat lose state satisfaction, and the Gebar gain it. So I imagine this is the clergy, and this might be the Gebar could be either nobles or it could be common. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll find out. So both days Sabbath gives you plus commoners loyalty, equilibrium, and power, but you also lose 5% raw materials output. Contrary to the mainstream doctrine, the ancient tradition of our people has been observing both the seventh-day Sabbath on Saturdays and the Lord's Day on Sundays. This privilege codifies those customs into law and protects the peasantry from persecution. We also have the Justice of the Kings. The Fetha Negest, also known as the Justice of the Kings, is a theocratic legal code compiled around 1240 in Arabic by Abul Fada ibn al-Asal, an Egyptian Christian writer. He drew his laws from apostolic writings and previous code of laws of Byzantine rulers. Textual history of the Fetha Negest reveals its two distinct parts. The first part primarily focuses on ecclesiastical matters, detailing the structure of the church hierarchy and sacraments, incorporates elements from the Bible, the works of the church fathers like St. Basil and St. Hippolytus, as well as others. So adapt it, or it's not the time. If you adapt it, you enact that legal code, get more church loyalty, the Kahanat loyalty here. Monthly progress to centralization. The clergy estate satisfaction goes up as it does their power. You also get some monthly control. Nice. Alright. Influenced by Roman law. Oh, look. The flavor text is correct. This is bad because it says frickin' Byzantine, but here it says Roman because it's correct. Haha, love it. We have Debere Meshwe. During the successful name of Negusa Negasat, Bahar Segad Solomon, he's been inspired to create Debere Meshwe, a church greater than the rest. It could be costly to do so, but trying to contain him on this project may result in the Kahanat turning against us, so we can construct it, or say how many churches does Ethiopia need. This building gives monthly right power. We don't know what that means yet. Math literacy for the clergy is good, gives clergy power. And then a bunch of different production methods to give these bonuses. Which one seems the cheapest there? Probably paper, cloth, and glass, I would imagine. It's also less glass than the top version. Yeah, this is just definitely the one you want to do. Unless you have like a crap ton of stone, but yeah. Unless this gives you more stuff out in the end, yeah, I don't see why anyone would choose this. Anyway, being a major Miaphysite monastery, Debere Meshwe has given the Kahanat the lands more control, but also better living conditions. And much, much more, but that is all for today. So, next week there will be no Tinto flavor, unfortunately, since they have an internal event scheduled on Friday and no one on the team will be available. That is, in fact, a shame. They will compensate with a double intense schedule the following week. On Monday the 31st, they have Tinto Maps review of Persia and the Caucasus. On the 4th, they will take a look at the content for Persia and the Timurids, which includes a starting IO, the Ilkhanate, and a situation, the rise of Timur. Oh, I am looking forward to all of this. So, what do we think? Ethiopia is probably, I'd say my second favorite nation in Africa to play in EU4. First being Tunis. Ethiopia is definitely up there, though, especially, becoming Jewish, forming Israel has always been something I've enjoyed doing. Well, it's not called Israel in EU4, is it? It's been a while. Not Judea. I am blanking on this because the last time I formed it was in Antebellum, and that's a whole different thing. But anyway, I have enjoyed playing Ethiopia. I'm sure it is going to be a fun tag here as well. Though maybe slightly too strong to start with for most tastes. I mean, everyone likes to come from nothing and struggle to get where they want to be. I was hoping for maybe some kind of disaster, some kind of thing that would break Ethiopia apart, like maybe like what happens to Mali. But I don't know the history of Ethiopia. What went wrong for them in the 100 years between EU5 and EU4 start dates to lead to Ethiopia being quite a lot smaller than it is in EU5. So hopefully there'll be some content regarding what happened there as well. That would be nice to see. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on the Ethiopian Empire in the comment section below. And is this a tag that you are interested in trying out? Also, if you know what happened to Ethiopia in the 100 years between games, then please do let me know. And I will see you on Wednesday for another Tinto talks on all of the glorious updates and stuff that has been going on thanks to people's feedback. So, until then, thank you all very much for watching, and bye-bye. Toodaloo.